to this 5D timeline meditation. And this meditation is really about strengthening your conscious choice to step onto the highest timeline and releasing all lower timelines, especially those being artificially created right now by dark forces that are not in alignment with your soul's chosen destiny of awakening and service. An open body, open mind, and focusing on the cycle of breath. On the in-breath is the invitation of light into the physical body, the bones of the body, the joints and vertebrae of the body. Light into the bones. Anywhere you are holding lower energies or frequencies from the 3D world, surrender on the out-breath, sending it back to the light, back to the universe. Allowing more light, more space in your physical vehicle. And on the in-breath, inviting light into the blood of your body. Blood cells of the body. And on the out-breath, a purging and releasing of older energies, especially ancestral energies, that's not in alignment with your soul's chosen destiny. Sending it back to the light. Breathing light and the in-breath into all organs and systems of your body. And again, the invitation is to purge on the out-breath all lower energies, sending it back to the light. Following that cycle of breath, I call to you your team spirit of the highest light resonance, your higher self, your monadic self, the oversoul, all helpers, guides, 5D to 12D helpers, guides, angels, archangels, star beings, star races, all specialist teams in spirit working. Come be with you now. Come be with you now. And feel the shift. Feel the connection to your team spirit, the unseen friend. And let's call the archangel the horizontal plane, beginning in the eastern Raphael, archangel of air. The symbol of this angel is a crystal wand, and the energy of this angel is emerald green fire. Calling now that fire into your space, to hold the space. Emerald green fire into the space. Let's call to the south to Michael, archangel, the element of fire. The symbol of this angel is a sword of blue flaming light, and the energy electric blue fire. Calling that fire into space, to hold the space, your space. And to the west, Gabriel, archangel of water. The symbol of this angel is a silver chalice or cup. The energy diamond white fire. Invite that fire into space, to hold the space. Hold the space and open, breathe. To the north is Uriel, archangel of earth. The symbol, a golden pentacle. The energy, ruby red fire. Invite that fire into space, to hold space. For angels, for energies of hope. Let's call to the vertical force angels, beginning with Metatron, archangel of the great central sun, to bring down the golden white light of the great central sun through the stargate of our sun. Down into the space, the building you're in. The walls around you, the door and windows around you, the floor beneath your feet, the ceiling above your head. Closing off the space. Let's bring that energy down through the head, down through the crown that opens, down through the third eye that opens, down through the throat that opens, down to the heart that opens, anchoring into the heart. Allowing all chakras of the heart upwards to align with the great central sun, and breathe. And let's call the soundophone from the crystalline grid of the earth below to bring that light up, diamond white light up to the room, the space you're in. The feet. The legs. Base chakra opens. Sacral chakra opens. Solar plexus opens. And anchoring essentially to the heart, allowing all chakras from the heart downwards to align with the crystalline grid of the earth and open. Six angels, six energies of the moon. And I ask your higher self and team and spirit to begin to activate the timeline you're currently on. Your current timeline. And this timeline may appear before you as a path, a road, a highway, perhaps a stream or a river, representing the timeline you're currently on. Trusting your first impressions. Go towards that timeline. If it's a path, stand on the path. If it's a stream, you can stand in the stream or just beside the stream. Find the path or stream or river. Notice how it looks and feels. A sense of flow or lack of flow. A sense of colour and vibrancy or lack of colour and vibrancy. A sense of stability, solidity, or a lack of stability and solidity. Just notice the path or stream, river, or highway. Standing in the present moment, turn to face the past. One way will represent the past. Turn to face that direction. And in this path there is a golden thread that leads all the way back to the womb. A golden thread. Feel that golden thread. And begin to journey back along the path. Journeying back along the path, perhaps finding a way of journeying quickly, a magic carpet, a skateboard, a spaceship. Journeying back along the path and noticing there are places on the path which may seem broken or dark. In those places, it's called angels of light. Calling angels of light to begin to build a bridge over the dark path or over the broken part. And sending light, allowing them to send light deep into any darkness, releasing any darkness in the path. Releasing it back to the sun, allowing the path to be cleared, mending the broken path, and then go back further in the past. Anywhere you find the path broken or dark, place a bridge of light over that place, mending the path, and pour light into the darkness. Releasing the darkness from the path. Clearing old traumas, old memories, old energies out from your timeline. And doing this, going back through the years, young adult years, adolescent years, child years, you as the young child, all the way back to you in the womb, the end of the path. Mending the path all the way back to the womb. When you've done this, begin to return back the way you came, back to the present moment. standing in the present moment, facing the future. Facing the future. I ask the Holy Spirit to invoke the highest timeline of life in this lifetime.
The multiverse. It's life or death. Here's an Avenger.
There are other Avengers.
We'll get you back on the lunchbox. Depends on us. No pressure then. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Tickets on sale this Wednesday. What do you know about the multiverse?
Which means you're already on your highest timeline. We should tell him the true timeline.
Careful, Stephen. This path exacts a heavy toll.
Maybe a little bit of fear about
I did what I had to do to protect our world. Things just got out of hand.
You break the rules. Look at my hero. Doesn't seem fair.
Along this highest timeline that leads all the way to your passing from the physical body into spirit, way in the future.
I think we should explore new solutions.
Randomly suggestions catch when your tongue might undermine your message, and it offers suggestions to make you sound more confident.
Let's explore new solutions.
The revenue that our business will generate.
Invite the angels to fill this timeline with light, to guard the boundaries of this timeline.
And televiewers of the Super Bowl were delighted to see the second trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on February 13th. After Spider-Man No Way Home, expectations for Stephen Strange's second solo appearance are correspondingly high, because here, as the title already reveals, the multiverse open in the Loki series is much further and treated in more detail. Find out what you need to know about the upcoming MCU movie about Doctor Strange and what is already known about the plot, the cast, and the production in the latest Kino Jack original. Let's first discuss the plot of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is why we will first start with the plot of the first movie from 2016. Of course, we must point out at this point that there's a high risk of spoilers for those who haven't seen the first part. In addition, we'll also go into the events of WandaVision later. Here, again, will be a high risk of spoilers. Dr. Stephen Strange starts out as an extremely gifted neurosurgeon with a huge ego who doesn't hide his talent from other people. However, a tragic car accident causes him to lose control of his proverbial magic hands, and despite the help of his then girlfriend Christian Palmer and the investment of his life savings in the experimental treatment, his condition barely improves. Prompted by the story of Jonathan Pangborn, a former paraplegic who was able to walk again after a visit to Kamar-Taj, Strange travels to Kathmandu. There he meets the wizard Mordo and is eventually introduced to the Elder. She is the supreme sorceress and head of the Kamar-Taj, and her unusual life is a great mystery. Through her, the extremely skeptical Stephen Strange learns about the so-called astral dimension and other dimensions. She also tells him that the Earth is protected by 3 temples of the sorcerer Agamotto, one of which is the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York City. The plan of the main antagonist Caecilius during the movie is to destroy the 3 sanctums in New York, London, and Hong Kong, so that the Earth is pulled into the dark dimension when no time exists and everyone can live forever. By traveling to the dark dimension, Strange convinces the powerful being Dormammu to leave Earth alone through a clever move, not without first banishing Caecilius and his team to the dark dimension. By using the time pendant, however, Strange has broken certain rules and angered Wizard Mordo. The latter cannot approve of the way the world was saved from the dark dimension. Mordo eventually turns his back on the other wizards, and in the post-credit scene, you can see him attacking Pangborn and draining his power. So, now you should know exactly what happened in the first movie again before we turn to the potential villains and characters of the sequel. First, let's go to the potential antagonists of the second movie. One of the most exciting characters besides the Doctor is, of course, Wanda Maximoff, played here as in the series by Elizabeth Olsen. As Olsen already revealed in an interview, she only learned about the story of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness 2 weeks before the end of WandaVision. In any case, it is essential to have seen WandaVision before seeing Doctor Strange 2. If you look at the post-credit scene of the very first MCU series, for example, you can see her studying the extremely dangerous Darkhold, which is also featured in the new Doctor Strange trailer. This is a possible sign that she will mutate into an antagonist over the course of the events of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So it seems likely that thanks to the Darkhold, we will see both the good side of Wanda and the evil side of the Scarlet Witch. Another possibility would be Wanda from another universe who could make life difficult for both Doctor Strange and the real Wanda. Either way, Scarlet Witch is still likely to become a serious problem. In connection with the Darkhold, we also think it's likely that Mephisto could make an appearance in Doctor Strange 2. In the comics, Mephisto is an extra-dimensional demon who rules over a blazing hot dimension that he himself calls Hell. Since the Darkhold originated in Hell and was also created from dark matter, Mephisto's involvement in a potential Scarlet Witch appearance is obvious. However, we think it's extremely unlikely that he will be the main villain. As mentioned at the beginning, Mordo, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, is of course at the top of the list of potential villains. His motives are clear. He sees the wizards who don't match his vision as dangerous because they are far too powerful and don't shy away from crossing borders. And latest, the events from Spider-Man No Way Home should have been the straw that broke the camel's back because Doctor Strange's failed spell embodies exactly what Mordo would like to prevent. However, it must also be said that despite his antipathies towards Strange, Mordo is not a villain per se. Sure, he'd do anything to stop wizards who are too powerful in his eyes, but he's not quite a completely bad guy. On the other hand, it is also conceivable that Mordo has his own agenda in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. For example, that he primarily wants to fight the out-of-control Scarlet Witch, and that the hunt for Strange is only secondary. We will only be able to see more details in the finished movie anyway. Third, not surprisingly, is the evil Doctor Strange as the main villain. This character, also called Sinister Strange, is Stephen's counterpart from another dimension and already played a prominent role in both trailers. He probably won't remain the only version of Doctor Strange, because a closer look at the trailer reveals several versions of Strange coming together through the multiverse. But it's just as conceivable that the very strangest will join forces to contain the chaos that's been created, or even take on a much bigger villain. Last but not least, the tentacle monster Gargantus should be mentioned. In the comics, this is a sea monster and enemy of Black Panther 2 antagonist Namor. Since Gargantus has already appeared in both trailers and as seen in the What If series, doesn't really pose much of a threat, but we are not assuming a truly relevant villain here. Sure, it will be dangerous to Doctor Strange at one moment or another, but will probably be dealt with by the protagonist during the movie. As already seen in the second trailer, we will not be able to welcome Wanda Maximoff as a newcomer. There's, for example, an appearance of Sir Patrick Stewart as Professor X, as you can tell from his unmistakable voice. If you've been paying close attention, you'll have noticed that Captain Marvel will also make an appearance in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. However, it's not the well-known Carol Danvers played by Brie Larson, but Monica Rambeau. She is played by Teyonah Parris and is the daughter of Carol's best friend. Rambeau already had her first appearance in WandaVision, where it becomes clear that she is Captain Marvel from another universe and has already gained experience as a superhero there. The storyline is in line with the Marvel comics, where Rambeau succeeds Danvers in her role as Captain Marvel. In the trailer, she can be seen fighting Wanda, so it remains exciting to see how big the role of the new Captain Marvel will be. Of course, there are several other characters who will make an appearance in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Among others, Benedict Wong as Wong, Rachel McAdams as Christy Palmer, Jocelyn Gomez as America Chavez, as well as Michael Stuhlbarg as Nicodemus West. Now, we would like to introduce you to another theory that has been circulating for some time, and that many Marvel fans wish would come true. In the comics, there exists a gathering called the Illuminati. This is originally a 7-member secret society that has some popular characters from the Marvel Universe as members. Each representative represents a certain grouping. Included are Iron Man for the Avengers, Mr. Fantastic for the Fantastic Four, Namor for Atlantis, Black Bolt for the Inhumans, Professor X for the X-Men, T'Challa for Wakanda, and Doctor Strange for the Mages. So, with the appearance of Professor X, speculation is mounting that the Illuminati will sure to hold Strange accountable for his missteps. It will be a fan great without question. However, as we've known since a leak from August 2021, the MCU version of the Illuminati could consist of Professor X, Captain Carter, Boulder the Brave, Monica Rambeau, and Mordo. This lineup will of course fit perfectly with the story of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but there's also another theory. According to this, we will get to see none other than Tom Cruise in the role of Iron Man. This theory is particularly piquant as Cruise was originally slated for the role before Robert Downey Jr. got it. In the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel, for example, we would then be dealing with an evil Iron Man from another multiverse, similar to the Sinister Strange we see in the trailer. Proponents of this theory see themselves confirmed especially by the Ultron-like robots that leave the bound Strange up the staircase. In addition, supporters of this theory want to have seen not Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel, but Tom Cruise in the armor of Superior Iron Man in the very brief scene with a fiery figure. However, there are also powerful arguments against Cruise's appearance. One of them is the fact that, due to his standing in Hollywood, Tom Cruise almost never subordinates himself to other leading actors. Since it is quite unlikely that this evil Iron Man version would take a very big role, this is also a strong argument against the Mission Impossible star. Fortunately, production of the Doctor Strange sequel has long since been completed. For a long time, it was questionable who exactly would have the honor of taking a seat in the director's chair after Scott Derrickson left the project in early 2020. After he retired to the post of executive producer, Spider-Man director and horror icon Sam Raimi took over as director. Filming finally started in London at the end of 2020, while the theatrical release was not in mid-2021 as originally planned due to the pandemic, but only on May 6, 2022. That's it again with our latest original on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. What do you expect from the long-awaited MCU movie, and do you think that the movie can meet your expectations? Feel free to write us in the comments and leave us a like and a subscription if
merging your mental body with the mental body of your future self. Merging your emotional body, your heart, with the emotional body of your future self. And notice the path goes ever onwards to the horizon, to the point of passing, point of passing. If you wish, you can travel further along the path, perhaps on a magic carpet, going all the way along the path, noticing all the high vibrational situations, the soul family, the energies and qualities you're going to meet, going along all the way to the point of leaving the planet, following a thread of life. And here noticing that you can leave with joy, you can leave the planet with resolution. You've come and done what you've promised to do. You've completed the journey. turning and facing the past